I'm Polly. One thing that you may have noticed about me is that I don't script my videos. I try and make everything that we do together feel like we're in the room, like it's you and I working on this adventure together. I've always been obsessed with this question. Why do we keep repeating the same patterns even when we know better? I am a survivor. I hate the word survivor. I also just shouldn't use the word hate. And society would call me a survivor of childhood systematic abuse. But I didn't survive. I'm a thriver. However, it took a long time to get there. I'm also a survivor of domestic abuse. So it's very interesting to me how these patterns come about. In my family, there is such an incredibly long history of addiction and alcoholism, yet I watch my family for many years of my life on repeating that pattern, having seen the damage these things do. Why do we repeat these loops? Why do we go back into these patterns even when we know better? And I tell you one thing for sure, I have studied so hard, but I didn't find the answer in books. I found the answer in nervous system and healing into safety. From the idea of safety, the idea of autonomy, and particularly in today when it seems like a radical idea for a woman to have boundaries, I created the Medusa neurosomatic therapy. Neurosomatic means mind and body. For me, one of the biggest things that's missing in a lot of the work that we do in a lot of places is this idea of we're just trying to intellectualize it, and that will never work. In this toolkit, I'm not going to save you. I'm not going to save you. I am going to give you the tools. I'm going to open the door. You walk through it yourself. This is what we're talking about here. I give you the tools to become your own savior, if you like this idea. But this idea that we need to be saved is also a little bit of bullshit. We need getting away from this damsel in distress and into this warrior goddess mentality, into this Medusa holding that head, into flipping that script around, into that Kali, into all of these mythology where women have been written out of the story, where Magdalene was made into a whore, where Eve was made into the beginning of original sin. This is all about flipping that rhetoric, because your neuroplasticity can change the story that you tell yourself. The last decade, I have been field testing. I've been stripping away what doesn't work. I have been doing the practical work, checking the science, checking it again and refining it, and making it into not just something clinical and cold, but a story, a myth that helps us to understand why we tell ourselves the stories that we do, why we work with the narratives that we do, but also how to rewrite the story. I now train therapists all over the world in doing this exact work, and it's all about this idea of being fierce in your healing. After working with quite a lot of women, quite a lot of people actually, not just women, one thing that I found with trauma-informed therapy is sometimes we are enabling ourselves to stay stuck by repeating the same story. When trauma is the only thing that's on the table, when we're always trying to heal the trauma, we're not looking at it from the right perspective. We're looking at this idea of the trauma made me, the story makes you. There's so much more to it than this, but when we flip the script and we look at power, we look at the healing, we are results-based, but also deeply empathetic, sympathetic, and respectful of the trauma, and then something magical happens. When we make change focused, when we begin that radical self-honesty, where we look at the reasons why we're doing the things we do and we take that autonomy, something incredible happens. And the more that I looked into this, the more that I started seeing these results, that I just had to scream from the rooftop that this radical autonomy is the answer. So I know what it is like to bear the Medusa wound, that Eve wound, that witch wound, the wound of taking up space. And the more that I step out there, the more danger I'll be in. I have suffered from CPTSD, PTSD. I have had almost generalized anxiety disorder. After I had my daughter, I could barely leave the house without having a panic attack. So to come to here, to go through this healing section, to use all of these tools to create this absolute freedom is my life's work. And when I say in the video, I'm so happy that you are here and you finally found me, because I feel like you have been looking not just for me, because I am nothing in this. I'm simply a catalyst. I'm the architect. You are the one you've been looking for, but I'm so happy that you're finally here, because I believe we all find this at the right time.